Hey, Gutfox here. The week of testing continues. It started on Tuesday with the coins and pack odds for packs. Today we're going to do defensive tackles and what stats matter for defensive linemen here at the tackle position. So, as you can see there, both defensive tackles got pushed back, the uglies. Those guys are 99 strength, 99 Blockshed, 99 power move, 7 feet tall, and 400 pounds. So they can still get pushed back even though they are the max stat. Although there, the big ugly on the left held his double team. So basically I went through 6 different scenarios with the 2 defensive tackles in the middle of Cincinnati's defense using cover 2 invert and fullback dives. I ran the fullback dive 30 times against each defensive front with those 2. And I recorded how many yards each one gained and how they did there. So these first 2 were obviously the perfect defensive tackles, and they still gave up quite a bit of yards on the dive. I averaged them. Those gave up 3.7 yards average on dives here. Like, look in the middle here. He just got 4 yards there. So defensive tackles don't seem to be, that important. These are against just regular Steelers O-linemen. I mean, there's Pouncey in the middle there, and I think he's like a 90-91 overall. Ramon Foster at left guard, I think he's 82, and David DeCastro at right guard. So decent O-linemen, but they're not 99 overalls like those defensive tackles are. And it doesn't seem like they're getting a great push in the backfield like they should to stop this fullback dive. And maybe fullback dive wasn't the greatest use or play to run against this front, but it was the easiest one to keep consistent. So we're going to move on to the next set of defensive tackles. So now we're going to go and move on to Martin Short and Martin Shortening. These guys were 99 strength, 99 Blockshed, 99 power move, but 5 feet tall and 160 pounds. So I did them short and light to determine how much weight and height played into this. And those 2 gave up 4.07 yards a carry. So we'll just move on quickly to the next class. We got a few of these, and I don't want to make the video too long. But these next guys are 7 feet tall with that 99 strength, 99 Blockshed, and 99 power moves, but 160 pounds to see how well they hold up versus the short and skinny and the tall and fat. And they hold up, better than the short and skinny, but worse than the fat guys. They give up 3.77 yards a carry, and I'll have all this summed up at the end, the final totals. But there's one class that I'm getting to that it was very interesting to see. So yeah, these tall guys, they do okay. Pretty good. The height looks like it matters a little bit more than the weight right now. So 3.77 versus 3.70 versus the big uglies. And the short and skinnies got over 4 yards they let up. So, alright, we'll move on next to Sims and Pecco. I gave him 99 strength, 99 Blockshed, and 0 power and finesse move, as you see at the bottom of your screen. I gave him the regular defensive tackle height, weight that they're listed at, and I tested them to see if those, what EA claims are the pass rush moves have any effect against the run on this, and they clocked in at 3.9 yards that let up. So they were pretty good so far. Little worse than both of the all 99s. Except for the short and skinny guys who let up the most. Alright, moving on next to Atkins and Joseph. And I don't think I mentioned this, but I adjusted everybody else's overall awareness, everything else, play rec to 70s on every single player to keep those even throughout the test in editing. And as you see, I just want to point out, look at the right guard and right defensive tackle. That's a huge block here. That strength there, you saw the right guard pushing back. That's what they say strength does, is that pushback there. That's what you can tell the difference between that and the other classes so far. A lot of them were able to hold, like right there. 0 strength held against the right guard. Sometimes that happens in Madden, just like sometimes it happens in football. Though I doubt in football a guy with 0 strength would be able to hold against David DeCastro. But basically, the double team on the left almost always drove that guy back. You see him split that double team? That didn't happen that often. It happened occasionally. That means he was successful in the double team, but oftentimes the double team held on him. He's got 0 strength, but the double team wasn't able to get off him onto the linebackers. So that's an interesting point, that the strength doesn't really make a difference. The right guard is not able to push back a defensive tackle with 0 strength every time. So I feel like I've been overrating strength for defensive tackles, and once again, that defensive tackle on the left held his double team to allow the linebackers to make plays. So strength, I do not believe, is something I will look at for my defensive tackles going forward, because I don't see the difference of it on the field versus the other class. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Oh, but wait, before we move on, I want to say the Atkins and Joseph combo led up 3.6 yards per carry on their 30 fullback dives. So they actually did the best so far of every class. That 0 strength did not hold them back and stopping that fullback dive at all. Alright, next. On to Bryant and Spence. And I will say this is the most surprising thing I ran across in this defensive tackle testing. Watch that right guard just drive the defensive tackle and push him over onto the ground. The Blockshed. Having Blockshed is the most important attribute for a defensive tackle. The right guard just manhandles him here. More than height, weight, anything. Look at him just throw the guy to the ground like he's an American gladiator facing an 8-year-old. Just manhandle him. So, although my testing kind of came out interesting, this Spence and Bryant combo, I don't know if it's because the linebackers reacted so well. They ended up with the lowest average of 3.37 yards against here. They didn't let anything go past 5 yards. Well, let me double check that. No, that's a couple go 6 yards. There's a fumble, but I think it's because the linebackers had such a free shot at him. So maybe don't do any Blockshed for your defensive tackles and let your linebackers make the plays. But unlike a spread set where your linebackers aren't in the box, you are going to get torn up by the run with low Blockshed defensive tackles. But this is eye-opening for me. So pancakes galore with 0 Blockshed, and I think this also was confirmed kind of by Nate Askew. I user him a lot, and as you guys saw in the user review, he has low Blockshed and he's not great against the run, and I couldn't figure out why. And this is kind of what prompted the video, because his strength is higher than a lot of linebackers. You think he'd be good against the run then as a user, but in fact Blockshed plays into the user role, going against the run and not getting pancaked. So your corner's getting pancaked. I think that's all Blockshed versus run block. So I'm investing a lot into offensive linemen with run block and defensive lineman with Blockshed. But I can test the offensive lineman with run block here going forward. So that, I don't know, let me know if that's as interesting to you guys as it was to me. I think that's our last category. We've gone through 6. Yeah, that's it. So overall, here is the graph of all of the players against one another. The Sims and Pecco, 3.9. Atkins Joseph, I'm not going to read it off. You guys can just watch it and pause it. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Is there anything else you guys want to see tested that you've had in your mind for a while? Thanks for watching. Call to action. I will see you tomorrow and the day after with quarterback testing as a teaser. Alright.